twice the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice the time of your life.
Thanks so much, El Tulo Gallery. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and what the Gig fans and all that things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu!
It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To my MAHARLIKA family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win, game week in, week out.
so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawang magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
We are live at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium for another Philippines Football League Sunday. This is your round number 2. This is April 12, Maharlika FC and TULOY FC.
Technical, and if we recall, TULOY put up a very good fight. Michael Antilo in goal, along with the substitutes here. Glenn could be very well one of them here. And as we start to kick off here, TULOY FC versus Maharlika FC, and able to run down that wing here.
Well, TULOY could be posing up for something threatening here. They are building up quite nicely from distance. Ooh, that was a really close one.
Staying active, staying aware, was able to prevent an early goal here for his team. What a save that was.
Still has the ball, puts it into the box. No one to hit it. But they still have it with Kim. Kim looking for someone, and there you have it. 7 minutes into the game, and again from the air and from the returnee, Fahim Ibrahim.
What a fantastic goal that was by Maharlika. You've seen them fire those long balls over the TULOY defense.
Now they go long, diagonally, and headed it too. And that one comes in. No, looks like the referee just waved it off. Maharlika still has it from the edge of the box. Escobar. Ooh.
Another fantastic goal there by Ivan Nawano. 2-0 now for Maharlika inside 15 minutes. You could see Maharlika's style of play here, overloading the wide spaces, even from the center back positions. Take a look at that back four. Mike Menzi, Enzo Lucindo, Dina Barley, and Bomso Kang, able to fire the balls over the TULOY defense, and he clearly found another man that time in Ivan Nawano.
Kang, and it sails.
What a save that is by Michael Antilo.
Or Neil Etheridge, for example. Ooh. So the lack in height, you have to go with positioning, and that was a poor position, but great clearance by... He's up ahead. No, he wants to take it on his lonesome. South! Ooh, from our angle. TULOY still opting to go to ground here, but Kang reads it really nicely and delivers.
Looking to bag a brace here today. Take a look at this replay here. Fantastic cross once again by Jin Yon Kim, and clear as day, handball by Grizzolo.
Opportunity for goal number 3. And that was as close as Antilo can get to it. It just gets into the back of the net.
And I gotta tell you, I love what I'm seeing here for TULOY. Pressing, really making an effort to get that ball back, not satisfied with sitting deep.
Well, they need to do something more, and that...
afford to lose another one, especially when you only have 2 active goalkeepers in your roster to finish out the season.
Ooh. And so far, the reactiveness of the defense has been their downfall so far. Ooh, headed in, but not the...
Might want to think about taking him off.
Well, this time, still no mistakes. Kang lays it up to Lucindo, who puts it into the box. And a header! Off the bar! Not the 5th goal you're looking for. It's a great tackle for Maharlika. Wano with the tackle there. 2 minutes remaining, and just like that, right, just like that, it ends with 5 goals for first half here.
Noti Nunez, the last player you'd expect to make a mistake like that. Perhaps he should have released that ball to his forward line, but he held on to it a bit too long. And as a result, 5 goals have now been scored by Maharlika FC.
There, but let's have a look at the numbers. What does your eye say about this?
Taller forward line players into ideal positions. Guys like Christian Escobar Molina, guys like Fahim Ibrahim.
Now it goes up. Looking for TULOY to have a quick counter-attack here. Kelly Balobo is off. It's bouncing, and it's not on target. That was as close as they got.
Here comes Justin Lupango rather.
Well, they go and play that on the left. That was beautifully done, but they now just need to have the final touches. Ooh, and Kenry Balobo ready as ever. TULOY FC. But of course, their defense needs to be able to stand up. And that is a bit shaky, and an opportunity. Na-deliver ng parcel ngayong hapon. Kang looking for someone. Ooh, and that one was almost beyond the reach of Antilo Jr.
And stubborn as a mule, refusing to let any more goals sail into his own net.
Well, there could be a chance here with Miyagi. Oh, and they have finally breached it after some time.
Bench, he's still able to get those goals, those crucial goals that are going to help Maharlika.
Kang couldn't get it through Halike. It is back with Cho. Good shot, not enough. Kim! And they have scored another. The wall has completely been broken.
What a play that was by Maharlika. Jin Yeon Kim, take a bow. What a beautiful curling ball.
For that, Cho finding his technical shot there, being blocked. Ball just bounces kindly for Kim. And Antilo had a glove on it.
You got a feel for Antilo. That could have been another.
Who has now invited more players forward. Nicely lifted. And Antilo with a fist to it. The delivery, in it goes. Ooh, and it went through everyone and through the net it goes.
Again, you got a feel for Michael Antilo Jr. He tried to go for that ball, but perhaps he just mistimed it there. Defense not able to bail him out on that one. Another chance like that could reinvigorate some of the fight that TULOY has lost in the past 15 minutes, but looks like it's going to be another Maharlika chance here.
Well, straight into the gloves of Michael Antilo, who very contrast of styles. But again, here comes Maharlika out to test the defense. They are failing for this one, and they are just trying to get it back early. They succeed through Miyagi there, and Kim lays it off. Menzi couldn't get it in seeing if anyone more, any additional goals could come in. Honestly speaking, it could come in at any moment now.
It could be now. It could be now.
Well, they have it. 2 against 1. 2 against 1. And they have it. No, they don't. Yet it still recovers. They have a chance to put it back in the box.
Nope. Fires a goal. No, wide yet again. And the referee finally blows the final whistle. TULOY had plenty of chances. Still.
As you can see at the left side of your screen, you have TULOY FC. They are John Henson Diaz and the forward in their coming games. And there we see kickoff. But the pressure is not over. Tries to take a shot. With a corner, delivers it in. And it's a goal! I think that was a header. And it is 1-0 in favor of Maharlika.
Well, we'll see in the replay who got this header, but yeah, it looks like it's Mike Menzi who's going away in the celebrations. I did mention that if the delivery is good from it though.
Pangalan mo kanilang tinitilian. Diretso lang ang tingin, di kanila kayang ibagin. Matayong man o magpagi, di tayo uuwi sa win. Diretso lang ang tingin, di kanila kayang ibagin.
Huge pass for the goalkeeper, putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Halike, will he take it? What a goal! Halike! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto, and it's a goal for Want the Gig. Yoka takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it 2.
Mirbach makes that one from Malum Soko. Shoots,
and they double the lead. Yamaguchi! What a hit! There's an attacking chance, and the Águilas slip it in.
Very good evening to everyone tuning into this 2025 to 2026 Philippine Football League season broadcast. We are thick into the third round, into the classification round. It was only a short time ago where we were just wondering what the league would look like at this point. Now we are actually here for TULOY FC against MAHARLIKA FC, match number 127 for this campaign. Diego Cordero alongside Natasha Alquiros Deto. Natasha, the league has been so exciting in the last few weeks. What have you made of the recent PFL results?
I feel that this season and how this revamped third round, whether it's the classification round or the championship round, has just brought that extra oomph to the PFL. And our matchup between MAHARLIKA taking on TULOY FC, two teams with very distinct football philosophies, a Korean-inspired side versus another side with a lot of Japanese influence as well, taking a center stage in this matchup.
It's a match between the team that has finished top of the classification group. That spot was already sealed before the classification group started. But TULOY, on the other hand, had that 8th place for most of the season. They've now slipped to 9th. And after Don Bosco's recent result earlier this afternoon, that is confirmed. So TULOY will most likely finish 9th. So although they also have to keep an eye out on the team behind them in Valenzuela, PB Menjola. So there's something to play for here for TULOY. Meanwhile, for MAHARLIKA, you're playing for pride and bragging rights. On to our team discussion. We'll start things off with TULOY FC. TULOY haven't been themselves in all the games this season, but they've continued to show glimpses. What do you think they should prepare for in this match?
I feel that when you talk about a team like TULOY, regardless of they had a hump in towards the end of the second round coming into this classification round. But the thing with these players is that they have an average age of around 20.9 years old. So they are the team that has the biggest growth potential. In every game, you can't help but root for the squad. They have a youth-first philosophy and mostly composed of homegrown talent players who have progressed through the TULOY Foundation and Academy and now playing on the Philippine Football League. So you can't help but root for them, and you know that they're a team that are young, so they will make those mistakes, but you check in every single game, they always find a way to bounce back.
TULOY have had mixed results in the third round. So they started things off with a 5-1 victory over Army, and then after that it was a disappointing 4-2 loss against Don Bosco Garil United. So it's a mixed record so far. This is their third game in the classification group. What do you make of this match against a better team? How do they approach this one?
You'd say that defense has to take center stage for the side of TULOY. We know that they have quality in them, players that can score goals, but especially when you take a look at the last time that these two teams went head-to-head, MAHARLIKA beat them 8-0. So you know that defensively, they lack that organized pack. They don't have the tallest of players, but they need to make sure that they have the numbers in those defensive duties.
8-0, as you said, the last time these two teams met. And then when they met last September, it was closer. It was 3-2 in favor of MAHARLIKA. But you mentioned it, the height advantage. Mike Menzi scored off 2 set pieces in that game, and Ibrahim also scored off a corner. So TULOY FC know the type of test that they're going to face because they've played against them twice already. If they are to get 3 points or at least a point in this match, a big part of that will for sure be Noti Nunez, the player in the PFL across the whole league who has the most minutes played. How important will he be for TULOY this evening?
Noti Nunez plays such an important role at such a young age. You know, he is a standout in the youth level, already played with the U19 national team, and he has this commanding presence about him for such a young player. And he's not the tallest of players, but his football IQ, the way that he's able to connect the defense onto the attack, will play a big part in how TULOY can get those goals against MAHARLIKA.
Take it now from the coaching staff of Tuloy FC. I think we have their assistant coach with a few words here for us.
Expectations sa team, I think bago tong laban na to, ginawa nila yung best nila, and then in-expect namin na papakita nila kung ano yung tinrain namin buong weeks. Then I think they will perform according sa plan.
There you have it from the assistant coach of Tuloy FC. So that just about wraps up our Tuloy preview. Now shifting over to the designated away team for this matchup. It's Maharlika. Again, they have had a good season. 11 wins, 2 draws, 9 losses off a 5-2 win over Army. And they also won their game before that in round 3. So they're on good form. It's very interesting actually. In their last 15 matches across the whole league, they've only lost twice. And that form was still not enough to take them into the top 6. So what do you make of this season for them? Is it a positive or negative so far for them?
If you take a look at the bigger picture and how Maharlika was 2 seasons ago, you take this as a complete positive sign. How much they've jumped from being one of the teams at the bottom of the table to now competing, trying to make it in the championship round, giving the top 6 teams a run for their money. And with this revamped squad under the head coach, Coach Moon Hong, you could tell that they have so much personality this time around. They have an identity, and this modern tactical approach has done wonders for the Maharlika side.
It is their 5th campaign in the Philippine Football League, but this will be their highest points tally finish ever. So Moon Hong can take that achievement, and they can take that achievement as well. They've never reached 10 wins in a season, and they've already had their 11th so far. Here is their starting lineup. Not much rotation, so they're going to go with a strong team, but of course there is no usual starters. We'll get to that in a bit. Slightly rotated, but you can see there's still a lot of firepower.
That's right, and you can see that Maharlika does have a deep bench, but you take a look around this 11, the goalkeeper and the whole back line. Only Lucindo stays same in the back. They've also had a change. Starts instead of Giganto, and up on top it's Miyagi who gets the start over Molina Escobar. So Coach Moon Hong with a chance, knowing that they cannot go any higher, they will not drop any points, they are solid with that 7th spot. Now it is his time to make the most of all his players and see who fits well in his system coming in for next season.
Despite all the turbulence that they've had this season, one standout figure who has been there all throughout this season is our player to watch, Jorel Aristorenas, who will be playing in midfield as their number 10, as their captain for this match. He has been a really good player this season and been so important to Maharlika. Even though they didn't reach their final goal of qualifying for the top 6, I think you can say that Aristorenas had a good campaign this time around.
And Aristorenas under head coach Moon Hong, he really has been the creative hub for the side of Maharlika alongside Kim. He has had such a positive season, as you've mentioned. He's been a long-time player of the PFL. He's played for the likes of Loyola and Stallions, but you feel that this is somewhat his breakout season where he's made a very big impact on the Maharlika team. He is one of the captains. And, you know, a fun fact to add is that Aristorenas has also an esports player for the national team. So it's interesting that he has represented the Philippines on and off the pitch.
There you have it, Jorel Aristorenas, our player to watch. Now let's hear from Moon Hong himself for our pre-match preview.
Well, it's been a very exciting season already. We have 2 games to go. And Tuloy is always a good team to play against because of their style of play. And last game, when we played them in the second round, we played with the physical ability and tried to play long ball. But that was needed because we had to get a result with scoring many goals. But today, we're going to go to a different approach. And we're going to try to settle in our new tactics we're planning to do. And hopefully, it will come out on a good note. And mostly today, we're trying to focus on a clean sheet, which we are really struggling to have, but I hope we can get a clean sheet and a win.
Well, even though they didn't reach the top 6, Coach Moon Hong has been a positive addition to the Philippine Football League, has been a really, really exciting coach to watch. And that's even without talking about his very famous YouTube channel, where he also breaks down tactical games from Maharlika. In fact, he was breaking down their Tuloy performance last time around. Let's see if they go with a similar performance, although he did mention they will go with a different approach this time around. So that about wraps it up for our preview. Natasha, how excited are you for this game overall?
Again, though this is the classification round, I feel that this is such a big and important matchup for both Tuloy and Maharlika, looking at the bigger picture, most especially as they transition from this season on to the next. And when you have a coach like Coach Moon Hong, it's really interesting how he's able to put that his personal transparency and that fan engagement even in those pre-match interviews.
Well, there you have it for our preview. Diego Cordero alongside Natasha Alquiros Dato. Stay with us shortly as we enter our pre-match ceremonies. Another look at your starting lineup from Tuloy FC, an average age of 20.9, by far the youngest team in the league, but nevertheless so much talent, so much promise in this Tuloy lineup. Here is Taketomo Suzuki's starting 11 once again.
Only one change for the side of Tuloy. It's Cyril Saud back on the first 11 as Halike stays on the bench. Your usual suspects nonetheless that are taking the stage once again to take on the side of Maharlika.
Meanwhile, here you have our match officials. Milton Pelayo will lead things tonight, assisted by KB Nanyola and Raymart Celosa and Chris Mil Kayabyab, with Roberto Hernandez as our referee assessor. The match commissioner is Karen Ann Kaliway. So there are your match officials for this night. The two team captains, Joel Aristarenas, Cyron Saot with the coin toss. Tuloy in their blue/purple jerseys and Aristarenas in their pink and white jerseys. On the other hand, Maharlika, again, they wanted the top 6 finish, didn't get it, but they can still end the season on a high note. And both of these teams actually super different goals when the season started. One thing they have in common, they want to end on a very high note and they want to end on a moral victory. Here is Coach Moon Hong's starting 11 once again.
Balobo gets the start in the back. A revamped back line with Barle, Menzi, and Kang all getting the start this time around. Lucindo's the only one that stays the same in that back line. It's going to be Park Aristorenas and Romeo Opong commanding that midfield. You have Jin Hyun Kim on the left a player so dangerous with 7 goals and 8 assists to his name already. Cho gets a start on the right. And it's going to be a closer look for Miyagi to be the attacking target player for the side of Maharlika.
Here are your game changers. Not full benches, but game changers nonetheless. Don't be surprised if both coaches turn to them later on in this match. It will be Maharlika to start things off, kicking from left to right. They got off to a really fast start last time around. Tuloy will be wary of that, and they will want to keep it close in the opening minutes. Cho Woyuk, he will be the designated right winger. Expect both wingers of Maharlika to stay very wide to try and stretch that Tuloy backline. Here's Ebarle.
We touched on it a little bit earlier. But of course, this matchup in the classification round, very interesting battle. Two teams with very distinct football philosophies. Every time Tuloy take the stage, you're always excited to see what they can come up with. They're always the underdogs in every matchup. But once in a while, they're able to provide us with so much brilliance. They are one of the two teams that are composed of mostly local players, homegrown players.
Tuloy having to suffer a little bit in these opening minutes. Maharlika very, very expansive shape when they have the ball. Looks like a 3-2-5 with Ebarle. Really fond of getting into midfield. Plays as a midfielder as well sometimes, so he's natural in that area of the pitch. Now he's out wide with Kim inside. Mike Menzi and Enzo Lucindo will have a lot of possession, you'd imagine, this evening. Excellent one-touch football from Maharlika. That is what has made them so exciting after Coach Moon Hong's arrival in the start of the season. Opong had the opportunity to cross, didn't take it. That's what Coach Moon Hong mentioned, of course. They played a little bit long ball in the last fixture because they needed to chase the game. Now they can be a little bit more patient with their possession.
One thing Coach Moon Hong did mention as well is that they will keep a keener look on trying to get a clean sheet. As you mentioned, Maharlika is a team that they could have made it to the championship round. Just needs a little bit of polish, most especially defensively. And you see it how Maharlika have shuffled their backline once again from their last matchup against Army. They still haven't found that right 11 just yet.
Maharlika were really close to the top 6 finish. It went all the way to the final round 2 day where they were chasing that finish. Didn't quite go their way. So that is why they're in the classification group. Here is Lupango, first chance to test Mike Menzi. Potential chance for Diaz, but the pass from Cyril South was just slightly overhit. I think that was Tuloy's first possession, and they nearly had a promising chance there.
Tuloy, though they don't always have much possession, most especially in this first few minutes of this game. But already so positive, so confident when they have the ball, the like of Lupango. Taking on the player on the right-hand side.
Switch of play from Byum-Suk Kang to his compatriot in Jin Yun Kim. Excellent first touch. Goes for the reverse switch. It's successful. Just about. Here's Miyagi. Aristorenas. Jin Yun Kim, too much traffic in front of him, but there was a foul amidst all that. So it's going to be a good chance for a shooting set-piece opportunity. Just 3.5 minutes in for Maharlika.
This is where Tuloy have to be careful giving away fouls in such a dangerous area. This is a sweet spot. Just enough space outside the box. A good chance for Jin Hyun Kim to test the goalkeeper or to test one of their plays.
It is only Jin Yun Kim stood over the ball. Maharlika are fond of training set-piece routines. Keep an eye out for that. But of course, the expectation is that a direct shot will be taken. Although Jin Yun Kim is directing a lot of placement, so don't be surprised if this is from the training ground as well. Just enough space between the goal and the wall to get it up and over the wall and back down from Jin Yun Kim, who takes it, goes for far post, was very close. Very, very close. Just 4 minutes in.
Jin Hyun Kim just couldn't keep that one on target, but you know that he's a dangerous player.
Tuloy, dangerous, playing out from the back. Opong nearly got to it before Antillo. That's the risk Tuloy take with their philosophy. When it works, they find the overload into final third. When it doesn't work, they can concede really dangerous chances to their opponents.
That's the thing with Tuloy. Notice they welcome that pressure. And Maharlika putting on that high press, winning the ball back in a dangerous area once again.
Offside was called on Jaehyun Park. But you can see the pressure being put on by Moon Hong's side, who he himself was shouting for when Tuloy were taking that goal kick. So the statement is clear. They want to stamp their authority in this match from early on.
That's one of the good things that we've seen from Maharlika this season is their tactical flexibility and how they're able to change it up depending on who they're going against. They understand the team of Tuloy. They play a possession game even at the back, even when it's dangerous, rather than clearing the ball out. And it allows for moments like this.
Cho Woyuk couldn't find a teammate. We're talking about the tactical flexibility of Maharlika. They played with a 3 at the back last time these two teams met. It's now gone to a 4 at the back, so they can adjust different systems and shapes depending on what's needed. Throw in to Maharlika. Tuloy having a little bit of trouble when they regain possession in terms of actually venturing forward into the opposition's half.
And you feel that Tuloy have to be laser focused defensively.
Menzi starting things from the back. For Maharlika, it's Menzi who has the most minutes across this whole season. Tuloy happy to allow him to have a lot of the ball, as well as the other center backs of Maharlika. Just a slight switch. Lucindo is in midfield and Opong slightly deeper. Let's see if that's retained later on. Jin Yun Kim. Dine Barle. Just trying to be patient and move Tuloy around to try and find a gap when it appears, but they're not going to force it if it's not on. It's looking like this Lucindo in midfield experiment is a little bit more permanent than I thought. He is now going to shift back to that center back slot. Very flexible stuff from Moon Hong.
You could see how he wants the team to play, everyone with the tactical awareness, the fluidity of movement. An overlap on that right-hand side.
Opong with the attempted cross didn't pay off. Potential counterattack here for Tuloy. It's 5-on-1, and it was always going to favor the Maharlika defender, but according to referee Meliton Pelayo, there was a foul on Cyril Saud, who's going to need to have a good game, especially without Halike. He is their main attacking outlet. He did well to win a free kick there.
Cyril Saud, of course, a player with 10 goals, 5 assists to his name. Always a positive effect from him, especially on the attacking end.
So look at Taketomo Suzuki, who has been Tuloy's coach for a really long time now. But just speaking on Cyril Saud, he is one of 3 players with more than 10 goals and assists combined. The 3 being Cyril Saud, Halike, and Lupango. Those are the main attacking outlets, statistically at least, for Tuloy this season. Of course, they also have midfielders who can contribute. They win it back here, just behind the halfway line. Can they convert it to a chance? Nunez, first time pass, out wide. Lucindo has to do some defending. He does it well. Forces Tuloy backwards for now. Diaz. Tuloy keeping possession for a prolonged spell. First time Maharlika have really been pushed back into their own half.
See, patient from Tuloy. Sending the ball back, wanting Maharlika to move higher up the pitch, spreading out the players.
Switch of play is on, but the offside flag will go up. Very high line from Maharlika. There were 3 Tuloy players in an offside position. It's nice to see that tactic in the Philippine Football League, of course. Very hard to execute for 90 minutes, but they did it just then. Barley looking for Jin Yun Kim. Is he offside? So 2 offside plays in a minute from the 2 coaches. Both of these coaches, of course, from our East Asian football powerhouses. Japan for Tuloy, South Korea for Maharlika.
Not just that, both of these coaches have made such a big impact on the football identity of these 2 teams coming to this season. For Maharlika's Moon Hong, as you mentioned, he's very active on social media, plays along with the fan engagement, and you're always excited for what he's going to say in those pre-match interviews. He brings on that approachable, likable persona, which is very much welcomed in the PFL. And then on the other hand, you have the likes of Taketomo Suzuki. If I'm not mistaken, he is the technical director for the Tuloy Foundation Academy. And he makes the pitch, you see the players on the pitch, how they play. That is how you know him.
Cho Woyuk tried for the cross. Couldn't find a teammate. Tuloy will try and spark a counterattack. Lupango chasing this one, but Balobo's starting position was very high. Some sweeper keeper action early on, and that's what's needed if you're going to play a high line. The goalkeeper also needs to play along with that and be ready to sweep up those balls in behind.
And Balobo, a goalkeeper, very confident on his feet and his capability of playing out of the back. It's definitely something that he brings to the table. Player who has started with San Beda, with the NCAA. He's won best goalkeeper in that level numerous times.
No-nonsense clearance for Lupango to chase Mike Menzi. It's going to take a lot more to beat Mike Menzi in a deal like that. Such an experienced defender. Has played for multiple big teams in the PFL, but this season really has found a home with Maharlika. There are a lot of Maharlika players with that type of arc this season. They've not gotten the minutes they wanted in other teams, and then they've really settled into this Maharlika culture.
It's giving a lot of players the second lease on their football life. But that's also just the nature of the game, and having the right coach being able to get the best of you.
Jin Yun Kim does well to keep that in play. Early cross, looking for a teammate. Antilio was aware of Miyagi and does well to smother that up.
High press again being initiated by Maharlika. They're not allowing the back line to breathe. They quickly try to get that ball back in transition. It has been evident all throughout the first 13, 14 minutes of this matchup.
Tuloy sitting in a deep shape. Next question for them is how will they get out of it when they do regain possession. Here's Byum-Suk Kang. Forced into a tight space, goes back to Cho. Early cross from Cho, looking for a teammate. And that's an offside call for Miyagi. Looked like he made it 1-0 for a second, but the assistant referee was very quick to put up his flag. Good cross nonetheless from Cho Woyuk, and that's a sign that Tuloy need to be careful of those types of scenarios.
Good ball from Cho. Yagi was in an offside position. But again, Maharlika being able to find that back of the net, it's a positive sign for them, though the goal didn't count. It shows that their high press is paying off. They're winning the ball in a dangerous area where they have numerical superiority while they're coming from the attack and going back on the attack again.
Menzi with the diving headed clearance. That's a staple of his game, of course. And that's a warning sign also for Tuloy. They need to be sure that those crossing opportunities aren't as open as it was then. Maharlika have done well to control this match after 15 minutes. Possession has gone their way. Not as fast of a start as it was last time these two teams met. But in terms of possession, it is favoring Maharlika, and the chances are falling to them.
As mentioned about those warning signs on Tuloy, very important. They don't let that ball bounce awkwardly inside the box.
Lupango versus Menzi once again. That's going to be a deal to keep an eye on for the whole match. Mike Menzi winning it yet again there. Just you mentioned on Tuloy's defensive frailties. They're actually coming off a game against Don Bosco where they made multiple defensive errors. In the first half, they conceded via 2 errors. One was a penalty, the other was a giveaway. They need to be sure to be a little bit more sharp and a little bit more laser focused against a very good opponent in Maharlika, who will punish you if you give them those chances. Mati Nunez is clearly brought down there from Cho.
The thing with a team like Tuloy, you can't help but root for them, for the growth of these players. And it's very rare. I feel that they are the only club in the whole PFL that the success actually of Tuloy is measured by how the players exit Tuloy rather than what they're able to do while they are playing for Tuloy. As you mentioned, they are a youth-first philosophy kind of club. So it's when these players leave and end up playing for other teams, for example, the likes of Haren de Gracia, who was picked up by Maharlika. That's always a positive sign for the side of Tuloy when the players leave. That is a good thing for them. And one note to mention as well, even on their women's side, the likes of Isabela Bandoja and Lani Ortillo, these two players have played for the women's national team in the FIFA Futsal World Cup. And not just that, they also recently just won champions with TSL FC. They are playing in Hong Kong and are crowned champions recently of the Hong Kong Women's Football League.
Very successful program that Tuloy have. Also have Brian Villanueva, who will feature later for Cebu, who's a graduate of that Tuloy program. And then they also have a team competing in the Ang Liga division, so they have so many programs in place for these young players to improve. There's Maharlika, though, down the left-hand side. In terms of open play, Tuloy are remaining compact in that very deep low block of theirs. Coach Moon Hong asking for a shift in tempo to try and break down this Tuloy team. Here is that switch of tempo. Switch of play is attempted. Looking for Cho. It's overhit. It's going to be out for a goal kick. Just under 20 minutes in, it's going to reach that 20-minute mark, most likely at scoreless. That's a slight win for Tuloy because last time around, it was already a steep scoreline at this point. But this is a giveaway. And it's an open goal and chance, but somehow Aristorenas is unable to punish that mistake. That was the biggest chance of the match just yet. Nearly had commentators curse because Tuloy nearly conceded, but they might have a chance here. Can Tuloy convert this? Balobo, way out of his goal line. Shot is taken, but too weak, and Mike Menzi is there to clean up. 2 huge chances in the past minute. None of them taken.
You gotta love that back-to-back action. Both teams couldn't take advantage of the errors created by their opponents. Quickly, this game has turned on another pace.
Jin Hyun Kim entering the penalty box. Aristorenas. Tuloy have settled back into the shape. Ibarle with the switch. Cho has Opong in front of him, cuts inside instead, goes for the shot, straight at Antillo. But there you have it, the tempo and the intensity of this match over the past 2 minutes has gone up. Both of these coaches signaling for that raise in tempo, and they both got it. And they both conceded chances as well. It's opening up, 20 minutes in.
Maharlika with a chance from Aristorenas. Could have easily made it 1-0. But the reaction from Tuloy to quickly go on that counter and test Balobo as well. Fantastic matchup in this classification round. This 20 minutes so far has been all sorts of interesting.
Maharlika trying to venture down that left-hand side, didn't work out. Cho Wo-yuk now playing the quarterback position. Fluidity and flexibility, really fun to watch from this Maharlika team. Didn't work out that time around, but you can see so many players taking up so many different positions. It means they have that unpredictability factor as well.
There is a positive but also a negative to that. Sometimes gambles take off, but that's the thing about gambles. It can also go the other way.
Possession regained by Tuloy. Noti Nunez looked like an offside there. Look how high the line is of Maharlika. This was a tactic they've done multiple times this season already. They did it against Manila Digger. Couldn't quite pay off there, but so far in this match, it is paying off. You can see Taketomo Suzuki is asking the ball to be played earlier in order to beat that offside trap so that they can stay onside. I think he's also asking his forwards to curl their run a little bit so they stay onside and beat that trap.
That's right, that goes both ways. Midfielders to see the next pass already before it's done, send that ball faster. As you mentioned, for the attacking players, the awareness as well to stay onside. You have to give it as well defensively for Maharlika. Offside trap, defensive organization paying off.
This ball will go back to Menzi, who's had a lot of touches on the ball so far. Playing a little bit like that metronome. That's a clear foul from Binalong, who by my count on Transfermarkt is 17 years old and will have Dine Barle and Jin Hyun Kim to watch. That is going to be a good test for that young player. Opong, good dummy. Here's Cho trying to cut inside, is double teamed and loses out possession. Potential transition now for Tuloy. Good counter pressing though from Jin Hyun Kim. The intensity is there from Maharlika when they don't have the ball. They need to make it count when they do have the ball. Here's Aristorenas. Still Aristorenas goes for the shot. No, not quite. Too much traffic in front of him. Has to go out wide to Dina Barle. Jayon Park with the shot from range. Was traveling, but couldn't get the direction as well.
I feel that it was a touch too many from Aristorenas inside the box. Could have pulled the trigger earlier. He was able to find himself some space, but decided that they wanted to get a bit more passes in before trying to take that shot. That attack all started from the defensive responsibility of Jin Hyun Kim, winning back possession again for Maharlika.
And that's always what you want to see from your forwards when your team doesn't have the ball. That they are willing to do the dirty work and to do the hard running and to not be that luxury player. Of course, you make exceptions for exceptional talents, but You'll want all your players pressing and running.
Definitely so. It's very important, especially for midfield players, your wingers especially, not just to make a difference and impact on the attack, but defensively help you get there as well, help you win back possession.
Maharlika just trying to find different solutions to this Tuloy team's defensive shape. Great switch from Menzi. The cross that follows it, not as pinpoint, and it's a clearance from Binalong.
Binalong had to go down to help Capistrano and Grizola there. Again, it was just an awkward bounce inside the box. No one really from Maharlika to capitalize on that situation.
Their top scorer, Fahmi Ibrahim, is not actually starting this match. Also scored against Tuloy in the previous encounter. He's on the bench. Opong, Yumsuk Kang to Jinyon Kim. Cuts inside, goes for the shot straight at Antilio, who's had firm hands so far in this match.
Antilio has been positioning himself really well, aware to the challenges. And also the shots from Maharlika are from distance. Been troubling, but not troubling enough to really force big saves from him.
It's a player down for Tuloy. Referee has to stop the game. 26 minutes in now, still scoreless. Neither side really happy so far. Just looking at the two coaches on the touchline. Probably two of the most animated coaches as well in the PFL. Coach Moon Hong also known to get a little bit animated. Don't have the record for the other coaches, but I think at 34 he is also the youngest in the whole league. At 34, some might even be asking him why you're not still playing. But he has transitioned very early on. Here's Coach Taketomo Suzuki, very animated. Has a very clear idea on how football should be played. And Tuloy at times play it really well. But he wants even more from his team at the moment.
Both teams with very good guiding factors leading the way for both Maharlika and Tuloy. Again, just can't help but mentioning it over and over again. Tuloy FC, an extension of the Tuloy Foundation, and how they're able to use sports, most especially football, as a catalyst for change, to changing the lives of so many players. They also have that world-class facility in their backyard. And have created national team caliber players, most especially in the youth division. In U19, you have Halike, Nunez, Cyron Saut. For the U20, you have Cyril Saut, his brother Diaz, and Sahor. As I've mentioned, for the women's national team as well, the women's national futsal team, you also have the likes of Isabella Bandoja and Lani Ortillo. So Tuloy making a positive, big impact on how Philippine football is shaped.
We have Naughty Nunez as well, who has played in the senior team and is a stalwart in that under-23 setup. Speaking of national teams, a lot of busy national team games in June. Not even just talking about the Philippines, of course you have the World Cup. But of course we also have that Tri-Nation friendly here in this stadium next month. June 3, Philippines versus Guam, and June 9, Philippines versus Myanmar as they gear up for that Hyundai Cup. Jinyon Kim pressed really tightly by Binalong, but is able to get past him. Binalong recovers though. Potential counter for Tuloy. unable to capitalize on Maharlika's high line, and Maharlika have dropped back. Here's Diaz. I think what's so fun to watch about this Tuloy team is they're not scared of having the ball. They don't let that get to their nerves. They're playing with Coach Taketomo Suzuki's philosophy in mind. It comes to their detriment sometimes, but again, it's something that they offer that no other team in the PFL also offers. Long ball, Lucindo does well. One back by Lupango. Game getting slightly feisty in the midfield. Ball in behind for Capistrano. No offside. Lucindo recovered well enough. He's going to force a throw-in.
But you feel it block by block at the moment. As you've mentioned, the confidence of the Tuloy FC players to keep possession and their capability to get away from that high press. It's been intense in terms of how quickly Maharlika have been trying to close down the Tuloy players, but we saw it in these last few minutes, block by block, now finding themselves in the attacking third.
We're gonna have a throw in here. Sorry to cut you off, Tasha. Throw in taken by Capistrano. Diaz is wrestling with two Maharlika players and is penalized for a foul. Game getting a little bit scrappy as well. Just one or two feisty challenges flying in. Nothing too undisciplinary just yet. Tuloy actually the best team in terms of discipline. Only 11 yellows and 1 red card. Jin Yun Kim, Ebarle with the long busting run forward. Jin Yun Kim has 5 in front of him. You just won. Cho, Miyagi back to Cho. Will he reach it? Too close to Antilio.
And Antilio has been doing really well with his timing of when to come out. Just taking up that space perfectly right behind the defenders.
Antilio, not the tallest of goalkeepers, but makes up for it with his mobility and quick reactions. But that was a hospital pass there, just about cleared. Menzi wins it back in an advanced position. Ball just about stays with Maharlika. Moon Hong is asking for a little bit more movement from his front third. You have you have around 5 or 6 players entering the last line for Maharlika, but they're being watched very closely by Tuloy.
Going 30 minutes in this match already, you feel that the fact that it's 0-0, it's a bigger win for Tuloy than it is for Maharlika. As we mentioned, the last time these two teams went toe-to-toe, it was 8-0 in favor of Maharlika. The first round was when it was closer, it was 3-2 between the two teams.
Early cross from Jin Yun Kim looking for Miyagi. Once again, Antilio is alert and awake. Again, last time these two teams met at halftime, it was already 5 to Maharlika. Nearly winning it back there with Ebarle. It's going to be out for a goal kick for Antilio. So while it might be a small win for Tuloy, Coach Taketomo Suzuki still not pleased, of course. Very demanding coach. Again, the high press from Maharlika to ask questions of Antilio. Just about finds Capistrano. Is that a foul? The referee says no. Capistrano stays down. Here's Aresterenas. One-touch play from Maharlika. Trying to be incisive, not quiet. Now it's a counter. It's 3-on-3 for this counter-attack, but they couldn't make the pass forward. Jayon Park is fouled by Lupango.
just the pace this game is played. You hold your breath every time Tuloy play from the back because you know Maharlika are pressing so high, forcing them to make mistakes. And in the few instances that Tuloy are able to break the press, you're holding your breath again on the attack for that counter attack as well.
Menzi with a grass cutter to Jayon Park. Just about keeps it in. Aristarenas dropping really deep to try and help out as well. Here's Cho with some space down the right. Wants to cut in on his left. Yumsuk Kang. Early cross looking for Jinyon Kim. It drops to him. Ebarle. Chance for the volley. Too much players in front of him. He couldn't take the shot. Now Lupango. Straight to Opong. Jinyon Kim. Left-footed cross towards Cho. It will drop to Cho. First time half volley off the post and straight into Antilio's grateful hands. The closest we've come yet to a goal. What a hit that was from Cho.
Feel a bit of luck as well for the side of Tuloy. The ball hit the post and it could have bounced and ricocheted anywhere, but it went directly back to the hands of Antilio.
Lupango. Guarded very closely by Lucindo, following him into midfield. It's back with Antilio. Again, the high press from Maharlika. All players in the opposition's half. They win it back once again. Ebarle. Cho. Aristarenas. Back to Cho. And still gets past his defender. Goes for the cutback. Miyagi was closest. Opong just wide. Last 3 minutes, they've gotten very close, but still not quite clinical enough from Maharlika.
This was a replay of the chance earlier. Cho has been such a positive impact in this first half. Hit the post and went directly into Antilio's hands. This was the second chance. Cho again able to beat the press, bringing it up down the line. The cutback pass inside the box. You could tell it took the slightest deflection from a defender from Tuloy. But once again, Maharlika, you're able to create chance after chance after chance. They just haven't been clinical up on top. And that's why this game stays 0-0, which makes them very vulnerable every time Tuloy tried to intend on those quick counterattacks.
Getting close to halftime now as well. And if it would be 0-0 at halftime, I think Tuloy might be a bit happy with that. Although, of course, it won't be conclusive just yet. Cho Woyo could have walked away the last 2 minutes with a goal and an assist. And he was just only a few inches off doing so. He is the danger man so far in these 38 minutes. There's a player down also for Tuloy. It's Diaz, who is requiring a little bit of treatment.
For a player like Cho, in a team that Coach Moon Hong loves to rotate his squad, it all depends on who plays well in training or who plays well the game before. And Cho came on as a substitute in their last matchup, and this time around gets the start. And that's what you love from players who are coming off the bench, finally getting their start in a matchup. You want them to take advantage of that moment to cement their spot in that first 11.
The thing is with Maharlika, they also have a pretty strong rotation as well. 18 different goal scorers. So many different players can contribute when called onto. That's the thing you like to see as well. Healthy competition, because it does help. Ball back in play. Given away by Tuloy. Miyagi to the danger man, Cho. Can he generate a cross? He does. Straight at Antilio. Good hands once again from the goalkeeper, who has kept this scoreless so far.
Antilio has been impressive in this first half. He has been a commanding presence in the back, positioning himself really well. Defensively, you feel that Tuloy, though they're beaten on the runs on 1v1s, they're making sure to have the numbers defensively.
Again, still scoreless between these two teams. I do note though that statistically both of these teams score more goals in the second half. Tuloy having 20 and Maharlika having 28. So if this stays scoreless after the second half, I'll be very surprised. Another giveaway from Tuloy. Here's Aristorenas. Jin Yun Kim has some space to run into. Has 3 players entering the box. Tuloy backtracking. Cross eventually comes in towards Miyagi. Couldn't find him. Good clearance from Tuloy.
It was an important touch from Siron Saot.
Had Miyagi lurking in the penalty box as well. Miyagi will be very eager also to have a good performance because he's not the usual number 9 for Maharlika. So when you're given the chance to play as the starting striker, best believe he will want to take it. But so far, he has been guarded very closely by the center back duo of Tuloy FC. Here's Cho hugging the touchline. After the past 5 minutes, you'd imagine there's a little bit more extra attention on him from the left-hand side of Tuloy FC after hitting the post and nearly generating an assist.
But Maharlika is so relentless, wave and wave of attack. They haven't found the right answers just yet, but they continue to knock on the doors of Tuloy's defense.
Tried to go a little bit more direct that time around with Opong as the aerial target. Couldn't quite pay off. No nonsense this time around from Antilio. It's bouncing around between the midfield. Noti Nunez runs clear. Lupango, did he stay onside? He did stay onside. Balobo is in no man's land and somehow makes a really good sliding tackle. That was a huge opening for Tuloy. A sigh of relief from Moon Hong.
That was a big gamble from Balobo. And he was lucky that he was rewarded with that. So far, Balobo's pressing of the 1v1, really closing it down, not allowing the attacking player to have any space, has been working out in their favor.
Offside trap, not quite that time around for Maharlika. Tuloy forced backwards from their own set piece. Antilio is going to take a risk. Very, very brave goalkeepers we have on show tonight. You have Balobo and Antilio who are not afraid to step out when needed. Credit, of course, to Manuel Neuer, who completely changed the goalkeeping scene with his own sweeper-keeper moments.
As you've mentioned, we're seeing a lot of the involvement of the goalkeepers in this matchup with their feet rather than making those saves. That also says a lot of how different also the impact of goalkeepers are in today's day and game and age.
Chowoyuk with the cross. Once again, Tuloy are first to those crosses. Head tennis before it's eventually cleared out by Capistrano. Very compact, very solid shape from Tuloy. It's back with Cyril Saot. Noti Nunez. Great feet from Nunez. No surprise also that Tuloy have a futsal program when you have so many players who are so good with their feet, especially with that close control. Offside though, this time around.
And Tuloy playing in the PFL, just a venue wherein the technical ability of these young players are being put on the biggest platform possible, so it can be noticed by even more people.
Jin Yun Kim being double teamed by that right-hand side of Tuloy. Ebarle. Pass looking directly for Miyagi, unsuccessful. Not quite that killer pass yet for Maharlika. It hasn't come around despite their best efforts. What do you think they should do in the second half, or is it the case of it will eventually come if you're Coach Moon Hong?
I feel that they are getting the ball in the right place, are able to bring it in the attacking third. There's just been that last touch of disconnect. You also feel that they are doing everything right. As you mentioned, putting themselves in dangerous situations. Their high press did pay off. But the attacking players, or the players in front of goal, need to shoot your shot.
Here's Opong. Accelerates down the right-hand side. Uses his strength as well, but is guarded closely. And double-teamed. The tracking of the midfielders of Tuloy has been very good so far. Now potential counter. And they have runners. High line, of course, from Maharlika. Can Tuloy breach it? Binalong, the 17-year-old. Switch of play is successful. Can they generate a shot? Shots eventually taken. Hits the side netting. There is an appeal for a penalty from Lupango. And I think the referee has awarded it. Meliton Pelayo has pointed to the penalty spot. Who would have thought it? Right on the cusp of halftime. It's going to be a penalty to Tuloy FC.
Ball to Lupango. Goes 1v1 against Lucindo. I want to see another chance at a replay of this. Lupango and Lucindo going on that 1v1. Was there a touch on it? Or that pull? You'd say that that was a very soft call, but nonetheless, the call was given, and it's a chance for Tuloy to make the most of this opportunity. They haven't been in the attacking end much throughout this first half. There's a big moment now. They can make it count. Get one up against Maharlika, a team that have been so superior all throughout the first half.
Last time these two teams met, it was 5-0 in favor of Maharlika at halftime. Cyril Saot has the chance to make it 1-0 in favor of Tuloy a few seconds before halftime. Cyril Saot steps up and converts, sends Balobo the wrong way with the stutter step. Coolly done from Cyril. 1-0 to Tuloy FC. Who would have thought it? Who would have predicted it? Not us, of course.
Cyril Saot, as cool as you like, takes that one with so much confidence. So secure in his capability of finding the back of the net.
Well, it's one of those gray area calls. Lupango will argue he got tugged. Lucindo will say there was nothing in it. But the referee call is a penalty. And look at that stutter. It sent Balobo the wrong way. How coolly done. And that's just a few seconds before halftime. What a first half performance if you're Tuloy FC.
Tuloy scoring at the perfect time, right before halftime. Able to get that halftime advantage coming into the second half. They've been on defensive duties almost all throughout the first. But a short break up on top, a call that went their way, and they were able to find the back of the net and secure the advantage at halftime.
There you have it. Cyril Saot's penalty is the difference so far between Tuloy FC and Maharlika FC for match number 127 of this season's PFL. Diego Cordero alongside Natasha Alquiros Dato for that first half. Don't go anywhere for the second half.
Yeah, thanks so much, El to Galili. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support, Manila Tigers. And next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and what Taguig fans and other teams for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu! It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To my Maharlika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win, game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawa magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
Good evening, everyone, from the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Currently halftime here between Tuloy FC and Maharlika FC. It is 1-0 in favor of Tuloy FC. Unexpected scoreline courtesy of a CJ Saud penalty right before halftime. Natasha, what did you make of that first half?
Very interesting way to round up the classification round last match before we bring on the main game later. But surprise, surprise, you feel that Maharlika, they had more of the chances, more of possession, and more often than not, you feel that there were so many instances where they could have scored a goal, have gotten the opener, or maybe have gotten more than one goal in that first half. As compared to the side of Tuloy, they had one moment inside the box and they made it count. A bit of luck in their favor. They were able to win a penalty call, but regardless, with the chances that they were given and that they were able to create, they found the back of the net.
It's been an open game. Both goalkeepers have been very involved in and out of their own penalty area. I wouldn't be surprised if this match has more goals in it. Both these teams tend to score more in the second half. That will favor Maharlika, but can Tuloy hold on to this lead? Let's see as we approach the second half kickoff. Both teams also have options on the bench should the starters start to tire out. Here was that contesting call. See, Coach Taketomo Suzuki was so happy about it, and what a penalty from CJ Saud.
And not just that, you feel that for the side of TULOY FC, they focused a lot on their defensive capability and they did well enough to shut down every attack of Maharlika. And when the moment presented itself for them, they took advantage of the very few chances. You take a look at possession, shots, and shots on target. TULOY, 43% possession as compared to Maharlika's 57%. The number of shots and on target, very big contrast. 4 shots for TULOY, 3 on target. Maharlika had 12 shots, 8 on target, and the big number is that 0 were converted, and that's why TULOY have the advantage coming into the second half. But we all know that football is a story of 90 minutes, not just 45 minutes. So you could expect that Coach Moon Hong will have a good talk with his team and will make the tactical adjustments necessary, most especially up on top, to make sure that they can turn things around.
He does have goal-scoring options on the bench. Possible subs in the second half. Fami Ibrahim, Eric Ben Giganto, Biton Uwano. So there's a lot of options for Moon Hong to choose from. It looks like, though, that after halftime, both teams are going to go out onto the pitch with the team that started the match. For Tuloy, it's a team that has worked so far. For Maharlika, you'd imagine that Coach Moon Hong will have told some of these players, I need to see a good 5 to 10 minutes, otherwise your name could be up soon.
I was going to piggyback on what you just said there. I feel that the first 15 minutes will be a very important one for the side of Maharlika. They have 15 minutes to make a difference, or I feel that Coach Moon Hong will start making the substitutes necessary to get the result that he needs in this matchup. Again, though Maharlika are already safe, they can't go any higher than this. But you feel that for pride as well, a team that you beat 8-0 the last time that you went toe-to-toe with them, you'd want to do much better in the second half to secure a better record or a continuous better record against Tuloy.
A few seconds away now from kickoff in the second half. It will be Tuloy with the first possession. Diego Cordero alongside Natasha Alquiros Dato, sporting an Arsenal jersey just to prove a point here, coming to you live from the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Did you have a good morning, I should say, after that Arsenal win, Tasha?
You feel that you're waking up on the right side of the bed. Nothing can go wrong. A great way to cap up this day as well. With footballing action, a close matchup right now between Tuloy and Maharlika, and later on, it's also going to be Cebu taking on Wantagig.
That game at 9 p.m. is going to be a huge one for the title race. It's going to be a great game. Both teams already in the stadium in the Rizal Memorial Grandstand. That'll be a really good match. Do watch it on this stream, or if you're in the Rizal Memorial Stadium already, thank you for coming along. Not much left now this PFL season, but there's still time for you to make your way to this stadium and catch the last part of this campaign.
Just something that translates from the Premier League onto the PFL, especially in this matchup. Let's say Arsenal, Man City, two teams with two of the best coaches at the moment right now. And when you have a good coach, it can impact the way that you play, as well as the camaraderie of the team and how much fun you have playing. And on the sidelines right now, Tuloy with Coach Taketomo Suzuki and the side of Maharlika with Coach Moon Hong. You know that they're in really good hands and that the potential of these players will be maximized.
It's also going to be a great coaching battle later. Coach Glenn Ramos versus Coach Soliman, two of our best homegrown coaches as well. Lovely to see them get those opportunities. Early diagonal towards Jin Yun Kim, straight to Antilio. Possession given away by Tuloy. If they are to protect that 1-0 scoreline, they will need to do less of that and need to do less of this. It's a set piece given away to Maharlika, who take it short, interestingly. Jin Yun Kim is in behind, guarded closely by Cyron Saut. You have the two Sauts on opposite ends of the pitch, both of them making an equal contribution so far in the first half.
It's always on that other level if you get to play with your sibling or the same team.
Pango was a good few meters offside. You can see Mike Menzi and Lucindo holding that line. That's something that's been drilled into them by Coach Moon Hong. Aristarenas, great first touch. Killed that laser ball. Following pass towards Opong, unsuccessful. Just lacking a little bit of that killer instinct and incisiveness in the final third are Maharlika.
You also have to give it to the effort that Tuloy have been putting, closing down the players with the ball.
Early cross from Lucindo. Antilio with the good punch. He was fouled as well by Miyagi. Brave goalkeeping yet again from Antilio. He's continued that from the first half into the second half, although he might have hurt himself this time around.
And where Antilio has done really well all throughout the first and to the start of the second half, it's his anticipation when the ball comes in the box. And he comes out really big, aggressively gets to the ball first, but unlucky that while he was in the air, just gets a hit from Miyagi, unintentional of course. A player down for Tuloy alongside the goalkeeper. It's one of their defenders in Grizola. In the second half, this is where the wear and tear will be. And you feel that this is where Maharlika have the advantage. They have the depth in their squad to be able to make the changes without the intensity dropping, or the quality could even rise coming off the bench. As compared to Tuloy that usually have the same players playing every single game.
Opong does well to win back possession. Aristarenas goes out wide to Cho. Hit the post in the first half. Trying to cut in on his left foot. Opong just about cleared. Still with Maharlika. Here's Cho. Good work from Lupango. Again, more good last-ditch defensive work from Tuloy. Rizola keeping close eye on Yum Sukang, but he might have been penalized for possibly a handball on that instance.
Have to give it for Menzi as well. Just able to give those long balls accurately from the left onto the right.
This time they're going to send forward their tall center backs to act as aerial targets for this delivery, but this one was slightly too low from Youmsuk Kang. Easily defended from Tuloy, who will try and spark a counter with the two center backs high up the pitch, but couldn't connect that time around. Youmsuk Kang could have given a better delivery. He had aerial targets in front of him. It's a disappointing cross from the right back.
Maharlika not taking advantage of the fact that they are the taller squad. They do have those foreigners on the attacking end as well. It can be aerial targets.
Think back as well to their previous performances against Tuloy. In September, they scored off 3 set pieces, 2 from Mike Menzi, who was on the pitch, and Ibrahim was on the bench, and then a lot of aerial goals as well in their 8-0 victory. Would not be surprised if that is a tactic they turn to in the second half. Coach Moon Hong has a lot of subs warming up in the sub area as well, so things can change from the subs later on in this second half.
Tuloy choosing to have that low block, making sure they have the numbers defensively.
Barle with the early cross, looking for Opong. Drops to Aristarenas, who's going to force a corner kick from CJ South. More and more set pieces now. 7 minutes into this second half. If they do capitalize off a set piece, it wouldn't exactly be surprising, because that's been known to be Tuloy's kryptonite, especially against a better opposition.
It's up now to Maharlika to take advantage. The height difference in their favor.
They have 6 targets in the box. It's sent in low and bouncing. Aristarenas got there, but committed a foul as well. Meliton Pelayo was quick to spot it. Couple set piece deliveries now, slightly too low for the aerial targets to try and attack first time.
Deliveries just haven't been at par, especially when you're the team that's chasing. You want to make that game that much more dangerous. There was another delivery from Kang. It was Sao to try to clear that away, that just got tangled up with Aristarenas. Foul was called in favor of Tuloy. Very slim lead against a Maharlika team that refuses to give up.
Cho forces a throw in. He's gonna try to take it quickly. Youmsuk Kang to Cho. And Tuloy just get back so quickly into that very compact shape that is just clogging up the final third for Maharlika. There's Menzi. We see another diagonal. Lucindo. Youmsuk Kang with the right-footed delivery straight to Opong. Cho! Blocked by Siron Saot. Trying to raise the tempo now are Maharlika.
Tuloy making sure they have the numbers defensively. Even when Maharlika takes those shots outside the box, just at the edge of the box, they reach the goalkeeper.
Mike Menzi trying to go direct that time around, didn't quite pay off. Opong is the most advanced Maharlika player at the moment. He looks like their target for those direct passes. Tuloy keep it in. Haven't had much possession in the second half. They might have a chance here though. Crucial block from Lucindo. Cyril Saut was behind him.
If you're just joining us, of course, Not be surprised, what you're seeing is correct. Tuloy are leading 1-0 against Maharlika. It was a goal at the death of the first half, right before the whistle. A penalty awarded in favor of Tuloy and converted by Cyril South. Was now put up his tally to 11 goals.
Block from Capistrano on Jin Yun Kim.
Capistrano just making himself as big as possible. Players of Tuloy putting everything on the line defensively. A different side from Tuloy. And the test for them now is if they can sustain it all throughout the second half.
Byung-Suk Kang. You can see for every Maharlika forward it's almost like there's two Tuloy players close to that forward. Long ball looking for Opong, direct. He tried to flick it on to Aristorenas or Miyagi. And again, Antilio was just first to react in his own penalty box. No foul called by referee. There's a sub being ready for Maharlika, but first there's this cross to deal with for Tuloy. Miyagi's there. Goalkeeper came and didn't get there. Saron Saot sparing his goalkeeper's blushes. Still Messi in front of the Tuloy penalty box, eventually cleared out. Anywhere will do at the moment. Tuloy being put under some real pressure now. Direct from Lucindo. Too close to Antilio, who didn't catch it. Capistrano with the clearance.
Two instances that Antilio had mistimed and mishandled the ball, but defenders there to support him right behind, able to clear that ball out.
Another direct ball. And cleared once again. And is this a potential counterattack? They have a runner. Balobo once again so quick off his line. Sweep up any balls in behind.
Composure from Balobo.
Lupango for Tuloy is cramping up near the halfway line. Menzi. Jin Yun Kim dropping so deep to get a feel of the ball. Cho, will it drop to Jin Yun Kim to make it 1-1? What a finish from the number 14. 58 minutes in, and the resistance of Tuloy has finally been broken by Maharlika.
Jin Hyun Kim is definitely the most dangerous player for Maharlika. He created that chance and eventually got to the end of it, poked it in the back of the net. Level terms now between Tuloy and Maharlika. Look at the work from Jin Hyun Kim, continuing on his run. Change of pace, the connection of players up on top. Miyagi with the dummy, letting the ball run perfectly for Kim. And 1v1 against the keeper, slots it into the left-hand side.
So back where we started between these two teams. After 60 minutes. There was a sub as well right after that goal. Yun-Soo Park checked in for Cho Wo-Yok. So it's now a change in the final third for Maharlika. It's actually Yun-Soo Park, usually plays as fullback, who will play as a right winger. Come Tuloy, how will they respond to that? Will they get deflated or will they be motivated? Here is Miyagi, guarded closely by Urakoy. Urakoy is going to force a goal kick.
And you're not surprised that it was Jin Hyun Kim that really got to the end of that. As you mentioned, he is that creative spark plug for the side of Maharlika. He has the most goals, most number of assists as well for the Maharlika cause. 8 goals, 8 assists.
Maharlika's high man-to-man press pays off once again. It's going to drop to the goal scorer, Jin Yun Kim. First time cross. straight at Urakoy. But at the moment, it's Tuloy who are faltering a little bit, can't get forward and can't penetrate the half of Maharlika like they were doing in the first half. That raise in intensity from Coach Moon Hong, and Maharlika has been successful so far in the second half. They have 30 minutes now to find that go-ahead goal. Tuloy need to be careful not to allow this match to fade away from them. No subs warming up for Tuloy, which is interesting. Means that Coach Taketomo Suzuki is still trusting the 11 that started this match. Sukang, again Tuloy sticking with that low block. Oh, poor pass to release Lupango. Jayon Park not doing Enzo Lucindo any favors. Lucindo, to his credit, wins it back. So it's back with Maharlika.
Lucindo lost the ball, but quickly able to get it back. Maharlika once again on the attack. We see a couple of changes within how they're playing. Park playing a more central, Kim rather playing a more central role.
Aristorenas, Miyagi. Very quick was Antilio to put that out of his own penalty box. But again, they're just finding those combinations now in the dangerous zones of the pitch. Great pass from Aristorenas to Ebarle. Looking for Kim, just slightly over. Needed a pinpoint delivery for that tap-in. But they're combining now in dangerous manners. This has to be warnings for Tuloy.
This time around, Maharlika able to find the spaces in between. The adjustments Moon Hong has made in this second half are taking fruit.
If anything, it looks like they're pressing even higher than they already were in the first half. Menzi with that diagonal. Opts to play it short this time around. Opong on the half turn. Aristorenas is in a pocket. Yunso Park doesn't use him. Yunso Park. Simple save for Antilio, but that's a little bit concerning also if you're Tuloy. Yunso Park had so much space to run into in a dangerous area. Rizola with the long ball, looking for Cyril Saud. It's going to be successful. Couldn't take it in his stride. And Pyumso Kang wins it back. Menzi though with the giveaway. Unlike him, Cyril Saud then in turn with the giveaway. Pass in behind looking for Yunsu Park. Chased by Cyril Saud.
And absolutely well timed from Cyril Saud. An all too important touch from him. Up against Park, who had the speed. He is a substitute in this game. Fresh legs, who's ready to take him on.
You can just feel now that the game is entering that stage where no one wants to make the mistake to cost their own team. Anxiety is settling in. Aristorenas threw on goal, but guarded very closely by, was it Urakoy or Capistrano perhaps, but nevertheless Aristorenas for a split second there looked like he was going to race through on goal.
You have to commend as well small avenues of improvement Tuloy have done defensively.
Tuloy entering the opposition's half. They have a player in the middle. Tried to find him. It's Diaz. Malobo stayed in his own box, actually, but was first to meet the ball. You can just feel when Tuloy get forward, they are also just one or two passes off a goal-scoring opportunity.
I feel that the pass from South was just too close to Balobo. You could see the intention when they're trying to build up.
Yunsu Park wriggles away, and still Yunsu Park has an option to his left. It's the goal scorer, Jin Yun Kim. Cuts inside, goes for the shot. couldn't get the direction needed to test Antilio. And that's going to be a signal also. There's 2 subs being ready for Maharlika. Player of Tuloy also goes down. Kashiwabara and Giganto checking in shortly. And Siren South is going to require a little bit of treatment as well. No surprise that Giganto's being one of those subs, because he is also a goal threat. And Maharlika, of course, are chasing a goal at the moment.
Kashiwabara was also a player that played in that defensive line against Army. We're excited to see how these 2 players slot into this game. It's something that, you know, you have players of Tuloy down. No substitutions yet for the side of Tuloy. Coach Taketomo Suzuki milking them for all that they've got. It's the captain, Siron South, receiving a bit of treatment.
There you have it, the 2 subs for Maharlika. Opong and Ebarle are going to call it a day and interplace Kashiwabara and Giganto. So a roll of the dice from Coach Moon Hong to try and keep that momentum going for that go-ahead goal.
So far, Maharlika have made a total of 3 changes. It was earlier where Cho was replaced by Park. Just a few seconds ago, Opong replaced by Kashiwabara and Ebarle replaced by Giganto. Player like Giganto coming onto this pitch as a substitute. He had a long stint with Kaya FC. He has championship experience under his belt. Let's see what he can do off the bench to create the needed impact that Maharlika need if they want to get the win today. I mentioned this is the 3rd round classification round, the 3rd and last time that these 2 teams will be meeting. And the first 2 times that they went toe-to-toe, Maharlika beat them 3-2 first round, 8-0 in the 2nd round. But at the moment, level with Tuloy. We're now ready to make a substitution.
Binalong has been forced off injured on the far side of your screen. In his place is Brian Sidney. Like for like, change from Taketomo Suzuki. That's their first change of the night. Just over 20 minutes to the conclusion of this match. Who will step up for their team if there is to be a next goal? Giganto's first involvement. Into Park unable to collect that. In the grandstand of Rizal Memorial are also some Don Bosco players. They will be scouting Maharlika for their round 3 ender. That will be a good match also. The 2 top teams in the classification group. Jinyon Kim, Maharlika running forward with 4 and 5 on the last line. 1 pass too many on the edge of the penalty area. Tuloy still clogging that zone of the pitch, and it's been effective. Apart from that goal from Jinyon Kim, Maharlika have really struggled in open play at least. There's Kashiwabara though to change that. Giganto back to his fellow substitute. Cross towards Yunsu Park, or was that Miyagi? Nevertheless, the header couldn't be directed goalwards, and that was a big chance for Miyagi. He was cramping up after that. No Tuloy player near him. It was a free header, but just slightly too high for him.
What a ball from that left-hand side. Maharlika able to get their passes in. Again, finding those spaces, most especially on that left-hand side.
It's won back by Maharlika in a good position. Jin Yun Kim cuts inside, goes for the extra pass. Giganto is offside. Maybe Jin Yun Kim was a little bit too unselfish and could have instead pulled the trigger.
But at the moment, Maharlika causing all sorts of trouble up on top.
One back again by Maharlika. They're successful in terms of winning the ball back high up the pitch. Tuloy just struggling to escape that intense pressure from Maharlika.
Maharlika trying to match the numbers of Tuloy on defense. Almost everyone is down to defend. Maharlika taking that gamble as well. Everyone on the opposite side except the goalkeeper.
Cross from Byum-Soo Kang. It's a good one, looking for Aristarenas. And the other captain, Siron South, was there as well. Lucindo stepping out from the back. Couldn't find a teammate. Now, potential counter for Tuloy. Lucindo left his space as a center back, but Siron South just unable to accelerate into that space. Back to Noti Nunez. Can Tuloy manufacture down this right-hand side? They're unable to puncture that Maharlika mid-block, and they're forced all the way back towards Antillo. And it's a pass straight to Yunsu Park. Duty foul from Grisola, but the referee's gonna allow that to go on. Double change being readied as well for Maharlika. Two attacking players, Molina and Uwano. Jin Yun Kim, underlap from Kashiwabara, struck closely by Cyril Saud.
Done enough to win another corner in their favor. Attacking corner opportunity. Possession-wise, it's been mostly for Maharlika.
Maharlika 5 in the penalty box. Now make it 6. Kashiwabara with the late run, but this one slightly too overhit, and that's straight out for a goal kick. That's now a few times that the set piece delivery of Maharlika has been a bit underwhelming, as we see a signal for the two subs, Miyagi and Byum-Soo Kang, off for Molina and Ivan Uwano. Two forwards in place of a defender and another attacker.
You know that Park is most probably going to slot down to make way for Molina up on top. These are exciting times for Maharlika. Making the substitutes, attacking threats with fresh legs against a very tired TULOY FC that is barely holding on.
Molina's first involvement is a throw-in. Giganto. So if you're Maharlika, you have Giganto, Molina, Uwano, Aristarenas, and Jin Yun Kim as your attackers. Great skill there, and that's an obvious foul on Lupango. But what about that footwork and that close control to escape that tight space? Yellow card to Lucindo.
That was perfect for a highlights video for Justin Lupango. So technically sound, able to get away. 3 players that were pouncing on him, find some space, close control, close touches, gets the foul as well.
Lupango, has he stayed onside? Balobo was first to it anyway. Out for throw-in to Tuloy. Rare chance for Tuloy to make a foray forward. It's been mostly Maharlika in this half. Long throw from Grisola. Headed away by Kashiwabara. Giganto. Maharlika trying to play out, successfully doing so. Molina, switch of play is on towards Jin Yun Kim. Pass just behind Kashiwabara, not into his stride. Attack still on. Jin Yun Kim has to deal with 2 defenders. player that is closely watched now by Tuloy. After getting that equalizing goal, diagonal to Owano. Taking on two defenders, looking for the return pass. Siren South is there.
South has been relied on heavily to make those clearances, and Owano wait for confirmation, but it seems that he got a yellow card for just ramming into South. Now two players of Maharlika have yellows. Lucindo earlier for the challenge with Lupango, and now Owano. Not exactly the mark that the impact you'd want to have as you're subbed on.
Lupango looking for the switch of play. Straight at Kashiwabar, but just piggybacking off that, discipline has been an issue for this Maharlika team. This season they've had 49 yellow cards. That is way too much for a team that is aiming to be a top 6 team, and they've had 2 reds to go along with that as well. Have to be careful for those 2 players on a yellow already. One more foul could be a little bit problematic with just under 15 minutes to go. Yunsu Park. Owano. Now that they have Molina on the pitch, they have a little bit of that target to aim at for crosses. Here is Molina. In behind for Chin Yun Kim. No offside is called. Yunsu Park. Giganto. Owano with the cross. Antilio once again with safe hands. And good goalkeeping from the number 1.
That was a lovely play from Maharlika. Just swinging that ball around again, taking advantage of those spaces in between players running onto them. They were able to get it from left to right, but at the end of the day, the anticipation of Antilio got the better of them. Anticipated that cross and intercepted it before it could connect with the player behind. The ball was from Owano, and you see Aristorenas just waiting to get to the opposite end of it.
It's going to be a change as well for Tuloy FC. Gabriel Vergara is going to check in place of John Razel Aguila. Second change of the night from Tuloy FC.
With Aguila, he was playing that holding midfielder role. You barely mentioned his name, but he did a lot of that invisible work, making up those spaces in between, making sure defensively Tuloy had those numbers. Vergara now will take his spot.
And the downside perhaps of being a good number 6, when you do have a good game, you're not as flashy as the attackers, not as clutch as the defenders. But you can influence a game nonetheless from that position without being a flashy player. Back with Maharlika down the right. Again, not much space to operate in. Yunsu Park into the pocket. Giganto goes down. No foul from the referee. Molina. Kashiwabar on the end of this one. And Siron South once again with the clearance. How many times have we said that this evening? There's a chance for Tuloy to capitalize. Lupango. Balobo way off his goal line and somehow is gonna wrestle this away from Lupango. Giganto playing with fire, but is somehow always able to win out those duels outside of his own box.
I feel that was just veteran moves from Balobo. Lupango just not aware that how high up the keeper is. He could have taken it first time to loop it over him, but you have to give it to Balobo. So confident every single time he has come out. He knows that majority of his team are playing on the opposite side. So even when the ball was passed, there's no offside call for that. And so he has to play that sweeper-keeper role to perfection.
It was almost as if Lupango was caught by surprise. He thought for a moment he was through on goal. And when he scanned and checked his shoulder, the goalkeeper was the center back for a moment. And I mentioned Manuel Neuer earlier today, but that is the influence that that goalkeeper has had on the modern game. Just player down also for Tuloy, so it's a chance for both coaches to have a little bit more words with their respective teams. For Maharlika, I'm sure the message is that they need a little bit of that incisiveness that invented the equalizer. They need a little bit of that spark, that creativity to get that go-ahead goal. For Tuloy, you can see they're a little bit tired, so I'm guessing it's a little bit more of motivational from Taketomo Suzuki and Kent Talam, who's a player/coach as well, also giving out instructions for Tuloy.
But that's what also makes this game so interesting, how this battle is shaping up. You have the side of Maharlika, who loves to gamble. They love to play on the attack. They want to have the numbers. They want to play beautiful football. They put the numbers up on top. They take those gambles defensively. And then on the opposite end, you have the likes of Tuloy that love to play possession as well. And in these moments, they're trying to play those quick counterattacks. They're able to find the passes onto the attacking Lupango. Just not with that key killer instinct and awareness how far out the goalkeeper is. Haven't really taken advantage of that just yet. So you'd say so far, the gambles Maharlika have been doing, so far paying off.
So Park does enough to keep it in play. Jaehyun Park. Kashiwabara. Tuloy's backline dropping deeper and deeper. And it's worked for the most part this match. It's back to Jaehyun Park. Has a runner down the right. Goes instead to the pocket player in Oano. Again, too much traffic in front of him. And Maharlika are forced backwards. Giganto out wide to Yunsuk Park, who has a lot of space. Wants it on his left foot. Gets a cross on his left foot towards Aristarenas. Oano! Molina! Last-ditch block to keep it 1-1.
Valiant defensive efforts. Every defender giving 150% for the side of Tuloy, helping out the goalkeeper.
Can Tuloy hold on? 7 minutes plus stoppage time until they walk away with a point. Their first point it would be against Maharlika. Oano takes the shot. Couldn't find the teammate. Still with Maharlika. Kim forced out for a corner. You feel that Oano's shot turn cross could have been a tap-in, but there was no one there from a pink shirt. And Tuloy managed to survive.
This game keeping you at the edge of your seat until that final whistle. Maharlika wanting to get a second goal.
Antillo, great punch from the number 1. Cyril South having to play 3-on-1, but escapes from that press. Taketomo Suzuki urging his team up the pitch. Is this onside? It is. Chance for Tuloy. Diaz couldn't finish. That would have been the textbook counter-attack goal. And he pulls his shot just wide. That was Tuloy's biggest chance in the second half, and it couldn't be converted.
But the coach Taketomo Suzuki applauding his team for the effort. What a ball from South. And inside the box, putting the defender on his feet, on his legs, but just couldn't get the final shot on target.
Will Tuloy be made to rue that missed chance come full time? Jinyun Kim, great diagonal switch of place from Yunsuk Park. Kashiwabara. It's been a while since I've seen Taketomo Suzuki this animated. He knows how close his team are to a point. Could have been 3 just then. Cross from Oano. Hasn't reached any pink shirt. Cyril South, great first touch to keep it in play. Gets past Kashiwabara. Sydney will not get to this. And once again, Balobo, sweeper keeper action. So calmly done from that goalkeeper. It doesn't look like he feels any pressure. Maybe he doesn't even feel pressure.
From the young players of Tuloy, you're impressed with their brilliance.
Wano, first time shot. Doesn't catch it the way he wanted. Tried to go for that Van Nistelrooy. Didn't quite execute it well, but just as you were saying, Tuloy's young players.
The likes of Cyril South, likes of Lopango, so confident when they go on the 1v1. Taking on the defender so confidently. You have to go back to the counter-attack. They did that with so much precision, every player knowing what they needed to do. It was just that final touch inside the box. But again, impressive stuff from the youngsters who have so much growth potential. Already at the age of 19, 18, 17, these teenagers playing so well.
Switching things up with a long ball forward. Can Tuloy win it back? Oh, look at that footwork from Yunsu Park to beat the press. Menzi, oh, it's a giveaway from Menzi. That's unlike him. And the following chance, he just clears it to safety. Nunez. Players on the deck for Tuloy, and they're a bit light at the back. Players cramping up around the halfway line. Here's Jinyon Kim taking on his defender. Goes and cuts inside. What a save from Atilio, who is making a really strong case for man of the match. At full stretch, keeps it level just 3 minutes before 90.
Atilio has been fantastic in this match when it comes to his anticipation. And in that moment, had to come out with a big save. Kim's shot had the power, the pace, and the accuracy. And it needed heroics from Atilio to keep that one out.
Everyone up for Maharlika for this set piece. It's towards Lucindo, and once again, Atilio is there. He has been everywhere in his own penalty box. He's coming back in. Atilio, once again, non-stop from the goalkeeper. Not the tallest, but he's making his presence felt. Tuloy have a player down in Maharlika's half. They're going to have to play with 10 for the time being. Molina with a chance. It's going to drop to Owano. Forced out wide. And Brian Sidney goes to ground and he's going to force a throw in. That's crucial for Tuloy.
Something to note in this match is the growth of Tuloy defensively. And Atilio, look at that important touch. Lucindo was waiting right behind, wanting to connect with that. He makes another touch again as Kim wanted to flick that with the back of his head towards the net. Every player on Tuloy doing their job on the attacking end, defensive end. A couple of players cramping out. You'd feel that they're so close, making a big mark if they can get a draw against Maharlika. That is a win for Tuloy and a loss for Maharlika.
When the third round started, you would have imagined Maharlika's goal in the third round was to win all their classification group matches. This is the closest they've been to not doing that. Justin Lupango's race is run, and in his place is Farnazo to close things out. We'll hear in a moment as well how much stoppage time will be added. It might be quite lengthy because we've had this injury and a couple others in this second half. Maharlika are running out of time to get those 3 points. Not that their spot on the table is at any risk. That spot was confirmed before the third round started, but you're playing for pride, you're playing for bragging rights, and they have 7 minutes to get the third win of their classification group. After a lengthy stoppage, it's going to restart. Throw in by Kashiwabara. Menzi. Yunsu Park. Maharlika trying to penetrate the pockets, trying to penetrate the half spaces, but it's Tuloy who are remaining compact. Here they are though, Molina. Goes back out wide, Kashiwabara. Left-footed delivery. Cleared to a Tuloy shirt. Cyril South can't make it stick. Anywhere will do. Clearances now from the blue shirts. They can feel that they're so close to this point, which would be a massive point against Maharlika. If I'm not mistaken, it would be the first time Tuloy get a point against a team 7th and up in this campaign of the PFL.
It's also 7 minutes for Maharlika to continue on in that attacking end. They've just been non-stop attack, left, right, and center.
Antilio doesn't get there this time. There's an open goal from Jin-Yun Kim, but he couldn't generate a shot, and now there's a possible counter-attack here. Cyril South goes down, and he wins the foul. That's a crucial foul. And that was a dangerous moment for Antilio, who's been spotless so far. That was nearly an error. Calm down is the message from Taketomo Suzuki. Here was that play.
Ball from Oano, well beyond the reach of Antilio. It's a frantic moment in this last 7 minutes. This is when things get cagey. Everyone's tired, legs are tired, minds are tired. Mistakes like this can happen. But Maharlika not able to take advantage of the keeper, was well off position.
They win it back here, Tuloy, in a promising area. Naughty Nunez, switch of play is on. Couldn't find it. They had 2 runners penetrating that back line. Maharlika go long. 3-on-3 on the last line, but it's won by Cyril South. But lost, won back by Molina. Has Giganto to his right. Molina! Couldn't quite hit it. Giganto was asking for that pass, and maybe it should have been played.
But Molina had the time and space. You could tell he has the power to take rockets of a shot from distance. Just not enough composure to keep that one on target. And the players of Tuloy dropping like flies. They've been doing a lot of defensive, relentless work to keep this 1-all. They have 4 minutes left to hold on as Maharlika continue to give it everything they've got.
There's Molina peeling out to the right-hand side. Jayon Park goes for the shot. It was tipped by Antilio. And he makes another really good save to keep it level.
Players connecting just outside the box. Park with a shot. It was curling outward. But Antilio makes a save nonetheless. He wanted to be sure.
Corner taken quickly by Maharlika. Unsuccessfully so. Still with Jin-Yun Kim. Kashiwabara has a lot of space to deliver this cross. It's a good cross. And it's Giganto on the end of it. Back in, but straight into a Tuloy player. Can Tuloy hold on? Or can Maharlika break through? Dying moments of this match. Early cross, looking for Molina. Urakoy was there. Crucial. Headed clearance as well.
This game will go down to the wire. Maharlika still on the ascend.
Very direct stuff now from Maharlika. Get the ball into the box as quickly as possible. This is another crossing chance towards Giganto. Crucial. Header out for a corner from Grizola. Get that wrong. Could be dangerous, but he got it right. Pressure will stay because it's a corner kick to Maharlika.
I feel that throughout this game, the defense has had the goalkeeper's back.
Yunso Park with the early cross in towards a dangerous area. Was it off the post? Somehow, some way, Mike Menzie couldn't turn it in.
The players of Tuloy giving it everything they've got with a little of luck on their side as well. That was from Park connecting with Menzie but hitting outside of the post. Antilio also made himself as big as possible.
We don't have XG in the Philippines, but I imagine that Maharlika's XG, or expected goals, for those unfamiliar with that term, is really high. There was a player that went down for Tuloy and they were asking for a foul that never came. And off that, another Tuloy player has gone down. They're going down like flies now. It's been a long season for Tuloy. Started in September. It's now May. They've played so many games. These are young players. Their bodies haven't matured just yet, so that fitness concern is a little bit more if you're Tuloy.
But at the moment, Tuloy holding on like true champs, taking on Maharlika, head to head, holding on for dear life, waiting for the referee to blow that final whistle. And Maharlika with one last chance.
Everyone forward now for Maharlika. Giganto, will he reach this before it goes out for a goal kick? He does. Yunso Park takes the shot. Antilio. How many times have we said his name in this second half? He has kept this scoreline level. And my oh my, if he doesn't get man of the match, I will be very, very surprised. Because he has had such a big contribution to this game.
He hasn't been perfect, but he's been effective. The totality of the 7 minutes are up. And Tuloy, a hard-earned draw against Maharlika. The classification round matchup, and you'd say that this has been the best of the best thus yet.
Who says there's no point in the classification group? Results like this defy that logic because it is a point for Tuloy against the much higher ranked and much more quality-filled Maharlika FC. What a game. CJ Saud converted first in a penalty right before halftime. Jin Yun Kim responded with the equalizer. It could have gone either way. It didn't. 1-1 is the final scoreline. It was a very, very, very action-packed match. Diego Cordero alongside Natasha Alquiros Dato commentating this one for you. It was an absolute pleasure. Please stick around for our man of the match interview. And stick around as well for the 9 p.m. kickoff. Cebu versus Taguig. But for this match, Diego Cordero signing off. Thank you and good night.
Wala na akong boses ah. Sorry sir.
So Antilio, congratulations for winning the man of the match. Can you take us through how you feel right now knowing that you were able to get an important draw against Maharlika?
Sobrang saya kasi dati tinatalo lang po kami, tinatambakan po kami. Ngayon, nador lang po namin sila. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa lahat. Salamat po.
And then the last time na naglaban kayo ng Maharlika, 8-0, natalo kayo ng 8-0, pero ngayon nakakuha kayo ng draw. How important is it for you that you played a big role, you made a lot of big saves in this match to help your team get the draw?
So very important po. Dahil nagtutulungan po kami sa loob, kaya po gawa namin yung best namin sa loob. Salamat po.
Can you take us through Tuloy FC? What builds your character as a team to get a big result in today's match?
Yung sa training po. Training po namin kasi araw-araw po. Kaya po lalo po kami natututo dahil sa mga coaches po namin. Yung mga dating game po namin na natalo kami, learning po sa amin yun para makabawi sa laro na to.
And ano din yung motivation ninyo to always get better every game?
For me, sa isa naming ka-teammates, para po sa kanya to, kay John Lloyd, dahil hindi po siya nakapaglaro ngayon kasi po dahil sa sakit. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, at last, ano yung message mo para sa mga fans at sa mga sumusuporta sa Tuloy FC?
Sa mga fans naman po, nagpapasalamat po ako sa inyo dahil sinusuportahan niyo po kami kahit na minsan talo po kami tambak. Nagpapasalamat pa rin po kami. Thank you.
Nice, Tito.
Puhunan mo sa bawat segundong huminga, pruweba to na ika'y uubra. Ang puso iyong pakinggan, pangalan mo kanilang tinitilian. Diretso lang ang tingin, di kanila kayang ibagin. Matalo man o magpagi, di tayo uuwi sa buhay.
Huge pass for the goalkeeper, putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Halike, will he take it? What a goal! Halike! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto, and it's a goal for Want the Gig. Yoga takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it two.
Mirbach meets that one from Malunsoko. Shoots, and they double the lead.
Yamaguchi! What a hit!
There's an attacking chance, and the Aguilas slip it in.